So my own wife finally decided to follow her own Facebook page, and I guess we'll kind of start this out and see how it goes. And if it goes, it goes. If it doesn't, then I know when to stop. Like I told somebody yesterday, I'm actually filming that today, is hey, you know, if we get an interaction with the page, I may keep going with this. I may try to help bridge that gap a little bit between the poultry world of a master breeder and to a novice breeder. I'll be the first to tell you I'm not a master breeder. I know what good birds look like. I've had plenty of varieties and plenty of breeds of birds. I can't quite tell you that I don't plan on dubbing the Leghorns. I laughed at it and that kind of blew up, but I thought it was really funny because you know, the BBs, they're starting to get these massive tails on them, and I just had to laugh at it. I joke with a couple guys out of Kentucky. I'm like, hey, I'll have a dual purpose bird by next spring. All they have to do is just change the leg color of the BBs for me. And you know, you just have to laugh. I mean, this is just a hobby to us. When I started the page, I'll be honest with you, I was just going to use it to sell birds. I've realized, you know, through Facebook, that there is a huge void in between, you know, what a master breeder is doing and what a novice breeder is doing. I feel like there are people out there taking advantage of the novice breeder, and it's just not good for the sport. I'll be honest with you. Everything that I've learned has been through bumps and bruises. It's not been through advice given to me. You know, I told somebody yesterday on the post that you know, we would buy birds when I was younger as a junior, and the guy would give us a big spiel about, hey, these are the best birds ever, and you take them to a show, and you know, we were just starting out, and we'd get disqualified the next round. And it's just like, well, not gonna buy birds off that guy again. And I just think it's funny that people do that, especially to the youth. They still do it. It's no secret I sent a very large lump sum amount of money last year when I tried to buy, actually I think it's going on 2 years ago, when I tried to buy back in, and everything that I got was coals. And I just, man, I couldn't imagine doing that to somebody. I couldn't imagine cash grabbing people with coal birds and telling them, hey, they're good birds. So the biggest question I get asked personally, I'm gonna try to keep these under 5 minutes, is what I need to start out with. What do I need to, you know, how do I get into the hobby? It's the best thing I can tell you. Junior and all these, Brandon, Jared, Landon, all these guys can tell you. I would personally first go out and buy an American Standard of Perfection, ABA, APA standard. Buy the newest version because they make changes all the time. Read it. I tell people read it twice, and I actually tell people, hey, kind of sketch it out on a piece of paper to see what you think your idea of these birds should look like. It's helped me. I know that there's a couple other books out there. There are How to Raise and Show Old English. If you're more into pictures, that kind of helps it. But I will say this, it's kind of a vague book. It doesn't really go a lot into detail. And there's a lot of gray areas there, which there's gray areas in this hobby like crazy. But the biggest thing I can tell you is pick your favorite variety, pick your 2 favorite varieties, pick your 2 favorite breeds. I'll be the first to tell you right now, at the farm, I have way too many varieties, and I'm not afraid to say that. 1 or 2 of my varieties will probably be dropped next year after this breeding season, just so I can concentrate on other varieties that, you know, hey, we're trying to get perfected, because you can't have too many birds. And anyone who tells you you can't have too many birds is definitely lying to you, because I can tell you that on our, you know, farm, realistically, I'm about a max of 225 is what I found. 225 was about the right number. Anything over that, I was just wasting space, time, and feed. And it's a hobby. It's supposed to be enjoyable, not, you know, it's not supposed to be a job. You you know, a little bit of background about Shelby and I. We own 2 businesses. My full-time job is construction. There are some days that I get off at 2. There are some days I get off at 9 or 10 o'clock at night. It all just depends on how that goes. So when I say 225, that's everything. That's chicks, adult birds, coal birds, show birds, breeding birds. That's about my max. You know, the next question I get is, what should I start with? How many varieties? How many birds? I'll be honest with you. I usually buy anymore. When I bought back in, I found out what it worked best for me was 2 trios of the variety, of the breed. It's worked for me. It helps me allow to, hey, I don't want to breed to this female. Hey, I like this female. Hey, I like this male. I don't like this female. A lot of guys out there will sell you brother to sister. At times, I've just learned to look at the toe punch. A lot of people toe punch. If they have the same toe punch, they don't go in the same pen. If I have a whole line of birds and they're all brother and sister, I may run it for 1 generation, but I will not run it that same generation ever again. It's just asking for a lot of trouble going down the line. I'm going to bridge the 2 videos because I got cut off there on the last one. But for me, I buy 2 trios. Yes, if you're shipping them, you're gonna have to pay the price of 2 boxes. And I usually just ask guys, hey, can you bring me the birds to a show? But also within telling somebody that, I know that I'm taking birds home from that show. I'm not gonna say, hey, you're gonna take that bird back home, just because it's a good way to, you know, make guys mad, is saying, hey, I'm gonna buy birds off of you, and then not getting back with people. I mean, that's one of the things when I talk to all these breeders, you know, because I am kind of a hybrid. I am going to say I'm novice because I am rusty. It has been a challenge getting back in because I have been rusty about how to clean up birds, how to condition birds and everything like that. But they all tell me the same thing. I'm getting sick and tired of people messaging me and then never getting back with me. And I think that's one of the ways that, you know, us as buyers, we can change that and say, hey, if I don't have the time, I don't have the money, and I don't have the pen space, I'm not going to message somebody. There's still going to be people out there that do that. But if you're seriously wanting to get into the hobby, if you tell somebody you're going to buy a bird, just go buy the bird. If you're not planning on buying a bird from somebody, just don't message them. Save the number, save the contact, save the Facebook page, friend them on Facebook. But I wouldn't be saying, hey, I want to buy birds off of you. Like I said, that's one of the biggest gripes when I talk to guys. They all say the same thing. They message me, yeah, I send all these pictures, I take all this time, and then they never buy the birds. So, like I said, what works for me may not work for you. This is going to be the first video. I'm going to talk to a couple guys if this keeps going about, hey, what are you going to do about maybe getting a video or something like that, to kind of make this more of an educational page. If it goes that route, we can always change the name of the page. I made it private, so if people are being ignorant, arrogant, anything like that, I'll just boot them. Like I said, I told somebody, hey, this is going to be a safe space. If you have questions, ask the questions. It's page interaction. But if we don't get a lot of interaction, then I'll just sell birds off the page. So hopefully everyone has a good breeding season. If you guys got any questions, holler at us. We'll try to answer them the best we can. And best of luck shows this year.